Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. It's the day before a massive semi-final second leg with Liverpool. So here is the question. Has Ange Postecoglou got 2 games to save his job? Now, at this stage, there'll be many people going, oh my gosh, he's talking about Ange again. And other people going, yeah, Ange should definitely not be in a job. But I'm going to try and break this down from a sensible point of view. Now, what I mean is this. How many managers can be sitting 14th in the league? Bearing in mind we were 16th before the win against Brentford. How many managers can be sitting there with the number of defeats we've had this year, the number of defeats we've had this season, the number of defeats this manager's had in his Spurs tenure? How many of those managers can be sitting there and saying, yeah, I'm not going to get the sack. Yes, I shouldn't be getting the sack. We've seen managers who have done much better get the sack. So the reason I bring this conversation up is twofold. We've got Liverpool tomorrow night. We know we're 1-0 up. It's a wonderful opportunity to get to a final. Now, I'm going to put this out there right now before everyone goes mad. I will be the first to say, if Ange Postecoglou gets to the final of the League Cup, then of course he should be allowed to be the manager to manage it. I can't be contradictory. I was absolutely disgusted when Jose Mourinho got us to a cup final and Daniel Levy then let him go 5 days before. So for me, I can't be a hypocrite. I really can't contradict myself and say, well, that's fine. He's got to be sacked if he gets to the final. But this is one of those weeks. This is one of those, it's 5 days between now and Villa on Sunday night. It's 5 days where Tottenham have 2 massive games that really will tell us whether we could have a good season or whether it's going to be a really shit one. And sorry to be that crass and that blunt, but it is that cutthroat at the moment. There's no black or white. There's no grey areas. It is that black or white. Should Ange Postecoglou lose to Liverpool tomorrow night and get knocked out the cup and then knocked out to Aston Villa on Sunday, then Tottenham Hotspur are now just a football club sitting 14th in the Premier League, 7 points off the top half. And that, I don't care what anyone says, is utterly disgraceful. It's shambolic. It is unprecedented. Whatever word you want to use. But playing devil's advocate and look at the positive side, suddenly, if we beat Liverpool, if we beat Aston Villa, now we're a club that, yes, we're struggling in the league. And yes, I think that that's sackable, but he's then got the chance to win a trophy. He's then still alive in the FA Cup. So for me, these 2 games are massive. As I've said, if he loses both, we are now just a team that have been shit. Right? We are now just a team that have been shit and are out the cups. And yes, people will focus now towards Europe. But we're still in Europe. And so we should be. We've not really had to do anything to get to where we are. I don't really judge European stages on groups like that. And I know it's a league table, but the 8 games we've played, everyone said we should have played 8-1-8. We didn't, but we got through because we played teams that we will get points against. For me, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. We all know that saying. And the proof of the pudding in this one will be what happens when Tottenham start playing some of the better teams in Europe over 2 legs. We can all get excited about beating Karabag, Ferencvaros, Alkmaar, Elfsborg. Should be beating these teams, and it shouldn't matter who plays, we should be beating them. But so far we've played 2 good teams in Europe, not great, Roma and Galatasaray, and failed miserably. And then Rangers, we were very, very lucky to scrape a point against Rangers, who are not, this is not a classic Glasgow Rangers team, is it? So for me, still on the European side, we should still be in it. So that, for me, isn't something where I go, well, he deserves the opportunity. For me, get to the League Cup final, fine. Someone like me, I can still not rate him as a manager. You know my feelings. I don't rate him as a football manager. But I can't be contradictory. So, massive, massive 2 games for Ange Postecoglou's career at Tottenham. And we've seen it before with Daniel Levy, because as much as we want to say we've chopped and changed managers, sure we have, and I get that. I get that as a defence of people that say we don't want another change in management. We don't want a new, my worst word in football, project, one of the buzzwords. I get it. But equally, just because we don't want that again doesn't mean bad managers stay in post. That's fact. Right, West Ham. Look at what West Ham did. Straight away realise we've made an error here. This isn't working. They removed the manager and they can now start again. But for me, when we talk about projects, I do feel that this is now being overused. If a new manager comes in, it's a new project. Why? Why does it have to be a new project? Why can't it be that a new manager comes in, takes the squad he's got, adds a couple of players, tweaks the tactics, changes a few things internally, and we keep going as a football club? Why does every single person that says they don't want to change manager says, oh, I don't want a new project? You don't change manager and say, right, that's it. All 25 players go, 25 new players in. We need 3 to 5 years. And this is something that gets thrown at me a lot. Sava, give managers 3 to 5 years. Sure, if you see an upward trajectory, give them 3 to 5 years. We saw that with Poch. We saw that with Redknapp. We saw that with Yol. Upward trajectory. They stayed around for many years, those 3. The ones that aren't doing so well don't. And that's the nature of being a football manager. That is the fickle industry that we're in. It is fickle, but there is big money involved. And whilst we're not accountants, whilst I don't care about the spreadsheets and the profit and loss, I've never understood football fans that care about all that stuff. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm a football fan. I want success on the pitch. But Daniel Levy cares about that, and he will see that, and he will act. And my feeling is, if he loses both, he will go. If he loses both, he is then just a manager sitting in 14th in the Premier League, miles off of European places in league qualification, out of both domestic cups. And for me, that will then be one of our worst seasons for as long as I can remember. And look, I'm getting old. All the lines on my head, I'm getting old. So it's an interesting one. Let's hope. Let's hope that we're sitting here Sunday night on the Spurs review, and I'm sitting there with my guests saying, guys, girls, we've just beaten Liverpool, we've beaten Villa, we're in both rounds of the cup. Fair play. Great results, great victories. Let's hope it's that, because if it's not, I don't know what the excuses are going to be. I don't know what the reason is going to be for wanting to keep this manager. And forget Ange in, Ange out. Forget all that. I'm a Spurs fan. I don't care the name of the manager. Whether their name is Postecoglou, Smith, Jones, Yol, Red. I don't care what their name is. If a manager's doing bad, I will not want them at my football club. So these 2 games for me are absolutely massive. This is, for me, the biggest 2 games we've had for years and years and years. Can he win them both? Can he keep us in both cup competitions? And let's look at the Liverpool game quickly. And this is where I'll hand over to you guys and girls and ask for your comments, ask for your points. What does it mean to you tomorrow night, Liverpool? What does it mean for Spurs to do well? Is it going there and saying, just a draw, just get a draw. We know we've got a goal lead, just get a draw, we go through. Is it going there and saying, no, we want to win this game outright as well? What do you expect from the game? Are we expecting to see Danso go straight into the back 4? Maybe Danso on the right, Davis on the left. Are we expecting to see Davis on the left, Gray on the right, Danso on the bench? Because for me, it would be pretty Spursy to bring in a centre-half, an Austrian international centre-half, and not play him. But as someone made me aware yesterday night, Danso hasn't actually played football for 4 weeks. So for a month, I believe it was something like January the 9th or the 12th or something, he's not played since. So it's going to be 4.5 weeks of him not playing. So let me know, for you, does Danso go straight into the team? Do you keep Graham Davis? Spencer Porro? Do you keep that back four? Does Gray go into midfield? I've given my opinion on that. I want to see him in midfield, but just not in this game. Does Matthias Tell, does he go straight into the team? If so, does he go left and Sonny goes through the middle? Does he go through the middle and Sonny goes left? Does he go out right? What do you think happens? So I'll leave it there. I'll be back. I should be back later today at 5 o'clock with Stell for Savran Stell Ask Us Anything, but I might need to change it. The dog's having an operation today, so depending on what time I've got to go and pick him up, depends on when I'll be live. But I have got a watch along on Big Up tonight for the second leg of Newcastle versus Arsenal. Newcastle 2-0 up. Now, of course, we don't support Newcastle or Arsenal, and of course, we probably hope that Newcastle get through, but one way or the other, we're going to be interested participants tonight, viewers rather, tonight, because we could potentially be playing one of them for a first cup in 17 years. Take care. Let me know your thoughts on all of the above. Will Ange go if he loses both? Will Tell start? Will Danso start? What are we expecting tomorrow night? What are we expecting against Aston Villa? Take care. Much love. Please like, please subscribe. And as always, come on, you Spurs.